Tariffs, among the oldest instruments of economic policy, remain one of the most debated. At their core, tariffs are taxes or duties imposed on goods and services imported from foreign countries. Ostensibly straightforward, their implications are anything but. They are levers of protectionism, sources of state revenue, tools of geopolitical negotiation, and drivers of economic retaliation. Understanding tariffs demands an exploration of their economic, historical, and modern relevance, not just as fiscal measures but as devices that shape nations' economies and influence global trade dynamics. The function of tariffs is dual. First, they raise the cost of imported goods, thereby making domestically produced alternatives more competitive. This can protect nascent industries, preserve jobs, or bolster strategic sectors deemed vital to national security. Second, tariffs can generate revenue. In eras before the introduction of income tax systems, tariffs were the principal source of funding for governments. Yet, while their economic justification may seem self-evident, tariffs are never free of consequences. They can invite retaliatory measures, escalate trade conflicts, distort markets, and place burdens on consumers through higher prices. Historically, the United States provides a textbook example of the evolving role of tariffs. In its early years, the fledgling republic relied heavily on tariffs to finance its government and protect nascent industries. The Tariff of 1789, one of the first legislative acts of the new Congress, exemplified this dual purpose. By the 19th century, tariffs had become a battleground for sectional interests. Industrializing northern states supported higher tariffs to shield their manufacturing bases from British imports, while agrarian southern states, reliant on foreign markets, demanded lower tariffs to keep costs down. This conflict reached its zenith with the Tariff of Abominations in 1828, which triggered the nullification crisis and laid bare the divisive potential of such policies. As the U.S. matured, the Civil War and subsequent Reconstruction period entrenched tariffs as instruments of industrial policy. Protectionist measures helped build the infrastructure of American industrial capitalism, shielding steel, textiles, and manufacturing industries from European competition. By the early 20th century, tariffs began to shift. The 16th Amendment in 1913 and the federal income tax system reduced tariff reliance. Tariffs evolved into tools of economic diplomacy and trade regulation. The Great Depression highlighted the dangers of indiscriminate tariffs. The Smoot-Hawley Tariff of 1930 worsened the global downturn. High duties provoked retaliation, contracting global trade. This led to trade liberalization under GATT and the WTO. Modern tariffs function less as revenue generators and more as instruments of economic strategy. They can address unfair trade practices such as dumping, where foreign producers sell goods below market value to undermine competitors, or counter subsidies that distort competition. Tariffs may also be wielded to protect industries deemed critical to national security, such as steel, semiconductors, or pharmaceuticals. However, their deployment is rarely free of controversy. Critics argue that tariffs disrupt global supply chains, burden consumers with higher prices, and provoke trade wars that reduce overall economic efficiency. The United States' experience with tariffs during Donald Trump's presidency illustrates their potential and pitfalls. Under America First, tariffs were imposed on Chinese goods, European steel, and aluminum. This led to a trade war with China. Tariffs revived some industries but imposed costs. Farmers faced losses and consumers bore higher prices. Businesses grappled with uncertainty and increased costs. Tariffs' effectiveness depends on context. In a global economy, tariffs can have unintended consequences. As Donald Trump prepares to re-enter the White House in January 2025, the role of tariffs in his economic strategy warrants scrutiny. With BRICS nations reducing reliance on the US dollar, tariffs could reassert American economic primacy. Targeting imports may address trade deficits but risks tensions with partners like India. Tariffs remain a potent but blunt instrument of economic policy. The challenge lies in leveraging their benefits while mitigating risks. The stakes are high. Missteps could provoke retaliation, strain alliances, and burden consumers. Yet, used wisely, tariffs can revive domestic industries and safeguard national sovereignty.